Iceland was the reason why you and I connected on the business level there. It started all with Iceland.
That
I
is true.
remember it well.
And I think it's because Iceland is one of those destinations that is perfect for your kind of tour. I have people who want to start any day that they'd like, but they want to go all over Iceland and see all of these amazing highlights. And it's very difficult to do on your own. Some people can do it by cruise going around the island, but it's just not the same as being on land in Iceland. So that's why I use you for Iceland so much. It's a perfect destination for my clients and for what you're offering.
And we'll go over the different times of the year to go and the pros and cons. We'll cover an itinerary. We'll talk about the costs. That's obviously a big topic in Iceland.
Mhm.
We'll talk about the food, the people, the safety, and whatever else you'd like to cover. I'm sure these are all topics that people want to hear about.
I absolutely. And I want to tell some great stories about when I was in Iceland. Also, I went there for New Year's Eve, and it is one of the most amazing locations to go to for New Year's Eve. I highly recommend it, but it is freezing. It's a very cold destination, but that's why it's so amazing when you're there for New Year's Eve. They have bonfires all over the island and fireworks. And they drink this drink called the Black Death. Do you know about that one, Charlie?
No, it sounds scary though. Go for it.
So the Black Death, it's their traditional drink that they drink on New Year's Eve, and it's like anise. It tastes like licorice. It's like Jägermeister, but it's like it kills you. It's when you drink it, it just burns going down. But it's highly alcoholic. And that's why they like it, because they're so cold, and then they go out and they watch these bonfires, and it's just it's an amazing place to be for New Year's Eve. I just loved it.
Yeah. Plus, did you see the Northern Lights when you went there at the time of year?
So the Northern Lights is very unpredictable. So it was cloudy, and we were there a week. We tried 3 times to go out and see the Northern Lights, and one of the nights we could kind of barely see it. We even downloaded a special app for my phone so we could take videos and photos, but we just never had a good view the whole week. It was very disappointing. So, don't go there thinking you will have a guaranteed view. But,
Yeah. What we try to do is try to set it up at the very beginning of the trip. And then the longer you're there, the better chances you have of seeing it. That's why sometimes if people are just going for 3 days, something like that, it's hardest to hit. It's hard for us to hit it at that point. Or like our standard tour is 9 days, 8 nights, and our tour will cover the island pretty much better than any other company. That's pretty much as a fact. We've made sure that we cover all the highlights on the island. Whereas a lot of these other companies, they just kind of do one area, north, south, east, west, something like that. We really do the whole thing. 9 days, 8 nights, and being there for that duration, one, will ensure that you see all the highlights, and two, increase the chance of you seeing the Northern Lights, which starts toward the end of August and goes all the way into the winter time. If you go to June or July, you cannot see it. Period.
right. Yeah. And you can see it in many different ways. They have tours where you can chase the lights by land. They'll just keep moving till they find them. And there are some that are on boats. So which kind do you do, the boat or the land one?
Land one. So we pick you up at 9 o'clock at night, and if all goes well, you get back around midnight.
Let's see. There was something else I was going to tell you about what I loved in Iceland. So the Blue Lagoon, of course, is the famous place to go for the spa and the hot spring. But there's a newer location that actually you introduced me to that is even better than the Blue Lagoon. Do you want to talk about that too?
Sky Lagoon. So a lot of the important things to see in Iceland can be explored as a day trip from Reykjavik. There are some parts of the country, the island and country, that cannot be seen as day trips from there. Sky Lagoon, what you had just mentioned, is very near to the capital. It's only 20 minutes away. And this thing has only been around since slightly before COVID. It's not like the Blue Lagoon that's been around for a while. I love both of them. And the experiences are different enough to where I tell people to do that. I recommend they do both of them. The Blue Lagoon is a little bit more family oriented, although it's also got a bar right there in the thermal pool and all of that. The Sky Lagoon is a little bit more like a prestige, a little bit more like a, like Las Vegas meets nature type of thing. It's got, kind of a lounge type of vibe to it. So it's got a very nice restaurant there. It's got all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's something between romantic and nature and a little prestige type of thing to it. So yeah, it's a good one. People love it.
You can add massages also to your package. They have all sorts of options to do there. So yeah, I like that too. But so as I said before, the reason that Charlie's tours are so fabulous is because he does go all over the island, places that nobody else even tries to go to. So these are not necessarily 4-star luxury hotels that you're going to get to when you're out in the middle of Iceland.
It's impossible. They don't exist. When you start getting to the more remote areas, the hotels are fairly basic. I mean, they're going to be clean and functional, but they don't yet have these type of 5-star establishments just because they are so far removed from everything else. The best hotels you're going to find, unsurprisingly, are in the capital, Reykjavik. Up north in Akiri, there are about 2 good hotels over there. When there's no availability at those 2 hotels, it becomes a little bit stressful because it is a village. I mean, that's what it is. But it's also one of the most popular places to go in Iceland because it's used as a base from which to make a couple of day trips. One is to these waterfalls. There's a whole series of waterfalls and lakes. And this other one is to a caldera. So what we typically do in the summertime, when people arrive, almost all Americans are going to be arriving very early in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. So what we do in the summer season is relocate them from the international airport to the domestic one. In a country that small, why they have 2 airports, I don't know, but they do, international and domestic. And then we will fly them up north to Akiri. And the day that they arrive, we'll do like some whale watching. The next day, we do that day trip where you explore these different waterfalls. The best waterfalls are up there. In the lakes and all of that is up there. And then on the next day trip, we show you Aska Caldera, Askja Caldera. That is one of the coolest things for me to see in Iceland. Unfortunately, that is very seasonal. In the wintertime, they can't do it because it's a deep drive. You need a special car to get into there. It's like a monster truck type of vehicle that you need to get into there. And once the snow gets in, forget it. It's too hard. It'll take days for them to get through the snow to actually get to this. But in the summer season, it's a long day. It starts very early in the morning, like 8 o'clock. You get back around 5, something like that. But if you're visiting that time of the year, June or July, again, you're not going to see the Northern Lights. But on the flip side of it, you're seeing that caldera, which in my mind is one of the prettiest attractions in the country.
Well, and not only the caldera, but they have a live volcano that you can see, the lava flow. Or is that not happening anymore?
We lost reception.
Oh, I'm sorry. The live volcano is still live, where you can see the lava flow.
That one is closer to Reykjavik. So that's why in the summer season, we go up north, see the caldera and the waterfalls, then relocate back to the capital, see some stuff there. In the winter season, we just make a flight day trip up north, come back down. That lava flow that you're talking about, obviously it's not going on every day year round. But when you do see it, you see it as a day trip from Reykjavik.
Oh, okay. I thought it was further than that.
Not that far, really,
Okay.
not that far at all. Yeah, and remember, there's different areas, but if you're referring to like the most famous one, that one's not that far from Reykjavik at all.
Yeah, that's one of the big requests I get is that people want to see the volcano. Everybody loves Reykjavik, of course, and there are some highlights in Reykjavik, like just going and getting a street hot dog is one of the classic things to do in Reykjavik for some odd reason. And we did it. It was an interesting hot dog, a little different. And they have other strange food there. Do you want to talk about their food a little bit?
Um, we can. Just one note about that volcano you're talking about. It's in the Reykjavik Peninsula area. That's where that is. So when you see it, that's the same day that we take people to the Blue Lagoon. So we take them to that volcano you're talking about. There's a bunch of other volcanoes and lakes we'll take them to in that day. And the day kind of ends with the Blue Lagoon. So yeah, that's kind of how we do that one. The food, when you go, it's not going to be cheap. That's for sure.
Right.
But they do have very nice like restaurants out there. They've got like a bread that I really like. It's kind of like a multi-grain dark bread, and then they'll put like salmon, like this fresh salmon, raw salmon, and they'll put like avocado and some onions and some other kind of stuff. So I like that kind of stuff. And if you want something fancier, the Sky Lagoon is the best place to eat. I mean, because you've got a one-stop shop for everything there, whether you want to go bathing in the natural pools or you want to go for a massage, or you want to have like a fine dining experience with your other travel companions. That's a good place to eat dinner and experience the nature.
And they had amazing hot chocolate, if I remember correctly. That was just to die for. I think we had that at there was a 360 view restaurant at the museum, I think, that we went to. That was the hot chocolate was just amazing.
Mm.
Sorry, I got off track of food. I always go to food because I'm a foodie traveler. And I know people hear about unusual food in Iceland. It is an island, and so it's not easy to get food from other places. That's why anytime you're eating on an island, it's going to be more expensive. And the other thing about Iceland is that the people all kind of originate from the Vikings. So they are big people. They're all very tall, large people who live there. And there's such a small gene pool. I don't know if you know this, Carly, but on their dating app for Iceland, there's a genetic pool. So you can tell if somebody's related to you. They're fabulous people, just the sweetest, nicest people. And they're all related to each other.
I don't want to be dating my cousin. My gosh, they're a hybrid. So they've got that Viking gene that you're talking about. They're mixed with Irish because both of them came into Iceland. So they're, I don't know what the percentage, if it's like a 70-30 or 60-40 or something, but there's a lot of the Irish DNA and the Celtic, basically, DNA.
And they're all big drinkers. That's right. That's probably why.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, how with your customers, typically, how long do they want to spend in Iceland?
I mean, I have some people who just do a pre or post on their cruises, who just want a couple nights in Reykjavik. And then I have the others who we've worked with together, the people who want to see everything. They want to see over the island as much as possible. Can be up to 12 days, up to 14 days. Depends on what we can fill it with.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. So like the 9 days will keep you busy every single day. You'll cover all the highlights, but some people have more time than 9. and then they'll ask us to basically either pause the tour and give them a free day to do nothing, or they'll ask us to simply slow it down. So let's say we're taking you on 2 different tours in one day. If they say, hey, we have 10 days, we can now split the 2 tours into 2 days. So you'll have, instead of activities from 8 or 9 until 5 or 6, now you're going to have like a 4-hour tour one day, a 4-hour tour another day. So when people have more time than that, we'll kind of customize the itinerary and spread it out a bit so they have more breathers. Usually, though, people have to kind of get in and out. They don't have these long vacation luxuries that some older people typically have. So, the 9 days is kind of a good number for them, where they go, they see it, they get back home, and they feel like they got the full experience.
Right. And I think, yeah, I mean, it is a lot of activity. So to try to get it all done in 9 days, you are going all the time. And some people really are like, please, can I just rest for a little bit? So then add in a few rest days, or some rest afternoons. I think that's a great way to customize it to make it easier for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you get into the, sometimes people, they'll want to even just go from Reykjavik and make just a few day trips from there and not really explore the whole island. And, we do that as well. People seem to kind of have different interests, and we kind of accommodate the different types of people that visit Iceland. But yeah, like you said, I mean, if you want to cover the highlights, 9 days will do it, but you're going to be busy every day from 8 or 9 until, like, let's say 5, 6. If you got the more time, why rush it? Just
right.
Slow it down. You'll see the exact same stuff, but just at a slower pace. That's all.
And I know this is a little off track here, but one thing a lot of people are asking me about who are going to Iceland is Greenland as an add-on, because it's very close. Is that something that you can talk a little bit about?
Believe it or not, I've never been to Greenland, and we don't operate there yet. So I never, me personally, I never send anyone to anywhere I haven't been, that I haven't like found people, trained people, set up all my stuff, done all my system. I try not to make people my guinea pigs. So if I haven't been there, I keep my mouth shut. So I'll just say Greenland looks beautiful in the photos. I'll say that.
You should check on it, because it is up and coming. And it is like right up your alley of a destination that you would do great. But
did you know that Greenland is owned by Denmark?
I think I did, somewhere in my head.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, it's what's kind of crazy is like I don't want to digress too much, but so remember that the like Mongoloid people, they went across the Bering Strait into like the north, like Canada area, and that's where you have like those Eskimos. They have the same kind of look as like people you'd see from Mongolia. They went all the way to Greenland, and they stopped there. They like stopped there. So although Greenland and Iceland are not that far from each other, there's a huge split in like one part had that Asian gene and the other one has like a Caucasian gene, and they never touched each other or anything. That was the dividing line in the world.
Yeah, it is different culturally, for sure. Interesting.
Yeah. And did you know that in Iceland they also have those plate tectonics that you can go snorkeling or scuba diving?
Yes.
And yeah, you have to wear special gear like a dry suit. And it's still cold. I mean, it's the suit will help, but it's not going to solve the problem altogether.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You can't do that.
No, I mean, it's just so cold. Even if you have your whole head covering, but it's so cool, and I wish I had the bravery to do it.
So that is like an optional add-on. We usually try to put the whole thing so people don't have to think too much. But things like what I had just mentioned, that's not going to be for everybody. A lot of people are going to be like, it's too cold, it's too this. So, something like that, we know that not everybody's going to do it. And we offer it as an option. But again, that one, like some of these other places we talked about, are excursions from Reykjavik. They're very easy to reach. So we'll take you to that area regardless. However, some people will just see it, leave. Others will see it, go scuba diving, actually see the plate tectonics split under the water, and continue with the tour.
And would you say that it's a fairly strenuous tour with hiking, walking on glaciers? I mean, how strenuous do you think it is?
I wouldn't say like specific to my company,
Mhm.
because some of the tours that we operate are very relaxing, but it's not because I'm relaxing or a company policy is relaxing. The destination itself is more relaxing. Um, Iceland is best suited for those who like outdoor activities. They're similar to the people who'd want to go to like Western Canada or who want to go to New Zealand. Same type of person.
Mhm.
They want to get out there. They want to hike. They want to see a bunch of stuff. Um, Most of the hikes are not that bad in Iceland, except for the Thormsmorg Valley. That one's more involved.
Hmm.
Um, so there are a couple of exceptions, but yeah, it's not that the hikes the it's so steep or something like that because it's relatively flat in Iceland, but it's just the duration of it. There's a lot of ground that you cover.
So, what would you say are the best months if you want as temperate as possible?
Like the warmest months,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, June, July, August. I mean, probably July.
Mhm.
Um, July, August. Now, I was there in July. I was still freezing my tush. I'll be honest with you. Um, but it is one of those places where the weather changes so much. So that's why we typically bring many layers of clothing, and you're constantly putting them on and taking them off, just as the weather changes. So it can get pretty hot, and then it'll get really cold, and this sort of thing. We also recommend, even in the summer months, July, August, to use a full body suit for rain cover.
Hmm.
So, because it's going to rain. I don't care when it's going to get wet. So, for you to have that with you, or pretty much to be wearing it every day, actually. So, anytime it's raining, it's like you've protected your body, and you protected your clothes and everything. So, yeah, that's something that people will know. If they want to just dress to impress all day long in style and profile, it's not going to happen because you're going to be
Yeah.
In a raincoat
It's
for
not
most of the time.
it's not that kind of destination. So it's the kind of destination like Antarctica where you are going to be in a cold environment. You need to dress for warmth, dress for action, activity, but what's the word? Like, don't be concerned about how you look. It's like boat hair don't care. Like, you just get the right clothes, layer, lightweight, waterproof, very important.
Indeed, that's the easiest way to put it, for sure. Um, the the other one is the Golden Circle. We didn't talk about that much yet, but the Golden Circle is the most well-known day trip from Reykjavik. And when people don't have a lot of time or a lot of money, that's typically the one they do. And that's when they have like these geysers that are just spraying out, and they've
Mhm.
got these like national parks and stuff. That's like a full day tour. So if you really can do nothing other than just one thing in Iceland, that's relatively simple, it would be that one, that Golden Circle. If you have a little bit more time and you want to explore the country more extensively,
Mhm.
that's where they kind of take off and they go to the southeast corner of the country. So a lot of these like really beautiful things that people have seen on the internet comes from over there. So those like icebergs basically that are um, like on the sand, or the black sand beach,
Mm.
or the area where you see like people in boats going up to these icebergs, all that kind of stuff. You're not going to be able to do it as a day trip from Reykjavik. You're going to need to leave Reykjavik for at least one night, get deep into there, see it, which we obviously provide this to our customers. You
Mhm.
sleep in a remote area for a night and then you come back.
Yeah, and we work together to make sure that on some of these remote areas, they will need a domestic flight to and from instead of trying to drive. It's just impossible to drive to some of these areas. And the flights are easy, no problem. And Charlie helps coordinate everything from start to finish. So it's all set.
Yeah, they don't really have to think much about it because we arrange the whole thing. So they receive what's called an itinerary letter, and it'll literally just tell them every day, please be in the lobby at this time. So and so should be ready there for you. His WhatsApp number is this. We're taking you to 123. Please bring A, B, and C. Lunch is at 12 p.m. We get you back at 5:30 p.m. You have the rest of the evening to yourself. So they don't have to sit here and worry about the domestic flights or any of the other logistics. I mean, they just show up to the airport and they can shut off their brain from there and just enjoy the journey.
And let's see, what else haven't we talked about yet? Well, why
Money.
don't oh wait, before we get to money, let me just do a little plug. So again, I'm Lainey Melnick with Dream Vacations. I book all sorts of travel, land and sea. Charlie is one of my fabulous supplier partners who I use for tours all over the world. And we are giving away this quarter an Asmara cruise. So if you hit my QR code up there and please go to my link for the quarterly contest, enter to win. Somebody is going to win that Asmara cruise. It can be any of you. So please enter. And we're also going to do a giveaway for our listeners. So if you put hashtag Charlie the Traveler in the comments, you know what? I think I'm going to even open this up to those people who listen after this is over. A lot of people are listening in to the recordings on YouTube or on Facebook or other areas. So if you just make a comment with hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday, we will give away a $50 credit to any Charlie the Traveler tour that you book through Lainey or any of my staff and my team. So now, let's talk money.
Yeah, and when we talk money, we mean expense. Iceland, we want people to know what they're getting themselves into. The country itself is just expensive. Hotels are relatively expensive. I mean, I'm from California. I would say hotel prices are pretty similar to here. The food prices are a little bit more. So to get even like they have these little kebab places all over Europe. So if you're on the mainland of Europe, you'll get one of those kebabs for like 7 or 8 euros. In Iceland, that same thing is going to cost like 22 euros, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to easily spend $100 for dinner, and that's without fine dining, wine, and all this kind of stuff. But to just go to a nice enough place and have a proper dinner, yeah, you could easily spend $100 on it.
Yeah, and if any of you have gone to my YouTube channel, you can get to it from my QR code as well. I have my Iceland video for our New Year's Eve in Iceland there, and I talk, I show you my bills everywhere. So you can see how much I paid for everything and take you through the whole process. I would really recommend it if you're going to think about going to Iceland or anywhere. Please watch my channel. I almost got 2 million viewers now, so I'm very excited. Things are going well there. But so let's talk about your tour in general. How much would it cost for one of my clients to do a 9-day tour with you?
So based on two people sharing a room, in other words, like let's say two buddies go to Iceland together, and they want to share the room, or it's a husband and wife. Per person, it's $4,142 US, and that's for the 9 days. It includes all the lodging, all the entry fees, the tour guides, the domestic flights, the ground transportation. It also includes the breakfast at the hotels. For those who need to be a little bit more on a budget, they also offer the package without the lodging. When people want to kind of just stay at like these very simple 3-star establishments, we respect that, but we don't like to book those ourselves. So for those who want the package without the lodging, it is, let me see here, 3,096.
And a lot of my clients don't want to go to the 3 stars. They want 5 star. They want to be in a suite. They want the ultra luxury treatment. And so a lot of those times I do book um, the lodging too and use Charlie for the tours. But we can customize anything you need. You can leave any day that you want to, because that's the way Charlie's tours work. Is you can leave at leisure, and the tours kind of rotate. So you might not be with the same people every day like you do on a normal tour that's a guided tour. So you may mix up the people that you're with to the waterfall different from the people you're with to the Blue Lagoon.
Hmm. But you're always going to be with other travelers unless you specifically request for a private tour. Something you had mentioned with the hotels. I mean, there's the traditional hotels that we've all stayed at, but they've also got in Iceland those special hotels, right? The ones that have the like the clear glass dome
Yeah.
where you sleep in the nighttime and then you look straight up, you see the northern lights. Um, it should come as to no one's surprise that those are very expensive. So when people ask us to stay at those, I just let them know what they're getting themselves into. And every now and then you got really, really rich customers who say, no, I just want to stay there the whole time. Others will say, what, just give me a night over there type of thing. And a lot of people just say, it's okay. I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. So we accommodate all types of people.
Well, we influencers really like that dome with the northern lights above you. It's pretty awesome. Worth every penny.
Yeah, of course. As long as the person can afford it, then of course it is a wonderful experience.
So let me just do one little plug here. It looks like we have some people who had put the hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday in the comments. Thank you so much. You will be entered to win a $50 credit towards any Charlie the Traveler tour booked through my agency, Dream Vacations, Lane Melnick and Associates. I'm in the Westlake area of Austin, Texas, but I book people all over the world. And if you hit my QR code here, enter to win my quarterly sweepstakes for the Azamara luxury cruise we're giving away this quarter. It is an amazing cruise. They do country-specific cruises for Italy, for Greece. They go all over. It's a beautiful cruise. And I book everything, land and sea. So I'm not just land or just sea, but whatever you need booked, you can come through.
What'd you think of the people in Iceland, Lenny?
Oh my gosh, they were so nice. Everybody is just the friendliest. And I think it has to do with living in a cold environment like that you're just so warm and welcoming. And, they're so grateful for tourism.
If you look at the those World Happiness Index, Iceland is always like the top three. Denmark, Sweden, Finland, all this stuff. They're ranked as some of the happiest people on Earth by these international polls, and every single year they're right up there.
I think it's all the Black Death they drink.
And what about safety? What did you think of the safety in Iceland? You ever think there's?
I never worried anywhere. And we were walking at, the middle of the night to go to these bonfires. I brought my whole family, my 4 kids and my 2 grandkids. And we were out in the middle of nowhere at these bonfires. And I never worried for 1 minute about safety. No problem at all with theft. I don't know. Have you heard of any issues with safety there?
No, I mean, even thinking about it, we just kind of laugh about it. Like, there's nothing. I mean, sure, anything can happen anywhere, so you always want to exercise precaution. But there's really nothing, not much to talk about over there. Although I'll tell you a real quick one. So there was somebody I was doing business with out in Iceland, and he was a shorter, smaller guy. And he and I got back. He dropped me off at my hotel, and there was an older man who was like waiting for him. And it turned out that the older man felt that this guy who I had met, who was trying to do business with me, the older man felt that he had owed him money. So like I could tell the guy was upset, and I had said to him like, "Do you want my help on this one?" And he said, "No, I got this thing." I said, "Are you sure?" He says, "Yeah." And this guy was right by the door, and we had that monster truck that we were in. And so this guy walked up to the monster truck, and he had his window down as he's talking at me. He's like, "I got this thing." I say, "You sure?" So the guy literally took his hand through the window that was open. He grabbed him and took him out. And he took him out, and I came down there real quickly, and I separated them, and I kind of got the one guy who wanted to beat him up, and I got him down with one knee in my arm, and I just like. But even when the cops came, we all laughed about it because there's that's going to be breaking news over there because that is like probably the most exciting thing that's happened in the last 30 years. So,
well, they are Vikings. I'm telling you, they're not, these little people.
I always joke with the other guy. I said, "Man, I saved your life. That guy would have kicked your butt so badly if I didn't get involved." So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have a client who's 6'7", and I sent him there, and he's like, "Oh my God, my people!" Like he finally felt at home.
Yeah. People, they feel welcome there for sure, and I've never really heard anybody like leave Iceland and say, I didn't enjoy this place. Everybody likes it because the nature is very distinct over there. It's not something you can just see anywhere. It's a very distinct landscape.
Yeah, I totally agree. And one of the things that I thought was really cool about the Blue Lagoon massages is they can do a floating massage, which I actually get now that I do aquatic therapy. I get my floating massages here, but to do it there with that landscape, gosh, amazing, beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. I need one of those right about now.
That would be great.
So, like we said, people, they can start this whenever they want. We don't cancel on them. The only time we've ever canceled was during COVID years ago. Prior to that, since then, we've never canceled. If you've booked it, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to be going. And you've got your own on-call concierge. If you need anything, somebody's on call for you. You don't have to wait 43 minutes for somebody to pick up the phone. They're right at your service while you're on the tour. You need anything. You have tour guides every single day. You've got that letter that tells you every single day where you're going. So, I mean, it's pretty much set up so you don't really have to do much other than just enjoy yourself. So that's why we're in business. We turn people's fantasy into a reality. Or at least we try to.
Yeah, and we take their letter that is a physical paper letter and turn it into an itinerary that you can have on your phone, electronic. You can go to it on the web, or you can have it offline. And that way, when we get drivers' information the day before, we can quickly shoot that out to you, and you have all the information that you need for the trip, so you can travel completely stress-free. And we do all the worrying for you and make sure that you have everything in order.
Yeah, we have over 850 five-star reviews here. So fortunately, we're keeping the smile on people's face. Something that we forgot to mention. We talked about like couples going on this trip or families. We also do solo travelers. So you don't have to be a big group or even with somebody else. If you're a solo traveler, and we get a lot of those, especially female solo travelers, you're welcome just the same. Don't worry about the group turnout size.
Yeah, and I sent groups also. Group travel is great there as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we like both, but sometimes solo travelers will assume, well, I don't have somebody else, so I shouldn't try to go. But it's not the case. Even if you're one of those that just is traveling by yourself, Lainey and myself will give you what you want just the same way we would a big group of 20 people.
Right, and you don't charge a single supplement.
No, the only difference in cost is for the lodging itself. So in terms of the transportation or the tour guides or any of this kind of stuff, there's zero supplemental fee. The only thing that changes in price are the hotels, because if you're staying in a $300 a night room and you're by yourself paying that $300 versus you're splitting that cost with a friend, at the end of the day, that room still costs $300. So,
Right.
but that's literally the only supplemental fee. And also, when people go to the Thormsmorg Valley, there is a fee for that one, but that doesn't have anything really to do with solo travelers. Until things change, there used to be, so basically from the Reykjavik, we'd go all the way to the southeast corner of the country, and then we'd be able to get to the Thormsmorg Valley before going back to Reykjavik, and then get back to Reykjavik. So for the time being, to go from Thormsmorg Valley back to Reykjavik, right now it's only on a private basis. We're hoping that they'll bring back the shuttles and things like this. But yeah, on that part right now, there's just private transport for that part.
And it's not so easy there to just do it on your own. You know, it's hard driving. I would not recommend you just going off on your own there.
I don't really know how people do it. I know it's popular. I mean, they're not going to cover a third of what we show them. But I mean, some people, they just kind of want to get on the car and do their thing. I get it. But I mean, for starters, you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere. You're not going to have internet reception. And now you're trying to get from the lake to the volcano, or from the volcano to another natural attraction. If you didn't plug all this stuff in before you left for the day, you're in trouble. You know, you're not going to be able to get there.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that part. And then you also need special types of vehicle for certain parts of the country. The Aska Caldera I had mentioned earlier, you need like a monster truck. But, you know, so what are you going to do? You're going to rent a car to see the rest, turn that car in, go get a monster truck for the day, and then go, you know, it doesn't work. The same thing with the Thormsmorg Valley. You can't go to the Thormsmorg Valley just with a regular car. You need a special car. So we kind of coordinate all of this stuff for you, so you don't have to figure this stuff out. The third countries where we operate, Iceland was the hardest one for me to put together, in all honesty. It was number one. Just because of the logistics, you know, how to be able to do all of this and keep the cost down. Because really, I mean, if I wanted to, I could just get private everything and teach all these people to do all this stuff completely privately. But then, of course, prices would triple. You know, so how do you use what the country has intact and work within the policies and their schedules and everything else, and coordinate it to where people are still going to see everything, you're not going to miss anything important, and you could do it as affordable as humanly possible. So eventually I got to that point, but it literally took me 7 months. Other tours, 2 weeks, I set it up, I started training people, I was good. Iceland took me 7 months.
So that's one thing I want to mention that really does differ than a lot of other tour operators. It doesn't just go to get your guide and go schedule somebody he's never met before. That is not who he uses for his tours. He actually trains his own tour guides, so he knows exactly the kind of service you're going to get. It's to his liking, and they're all high quality. I don't think I've ever had any complaints about anyone I've ever put on any of your tours. I've always gotten 5-star reviews for them. So bravo, you do a great job.
Thank you, Lenny.
So the one thing I did want to point out, though, is people compare pricing to here. So they think, well, I've got a $400 a night hotel room. I'm going to be in a penthouse. It's going to be amazing. It'll be beautiful. That is not necessarily what you're going to get there. So don't compare price and the hotel type, because even in Reykjavik, they're just not used to having luxury hotels. It's a very different kind of environment. There are now more than there used to be. Do you want to read that question?
The question here, I'm looking at it.
Do I need to put my glasses on? I don't know what I do with my glasses. Oh, wait, here. Oh, very interesting. Thank you. Thanks, Natalie.
Okay.
So let me give you one more plug for the QR code. So go ahead and hit the QR code, follow me everywhere, essentially go to my YouTube channel where this video is going to be, well, recorded after the live, and enter to win our Azamara cruise for our quarterly contest. Also put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday in your comments. I'm going to through whether they are live or after, and we will award you a $50 credit toward any Charlie the Traveler tour that you book through. We should decide what we're going to. Oh, next week I'm going to be in Boston.
So we're not doing it next week.
Yeah, next week we're going to take a break, but then the week after, I was thinking about the Philippines. What do you think of that?
Let's do the Philippines.
Okay. I'm very excited about the Philippines. I love it. I'm a diver. I used to be a diver. So that is one of my favorite destinations. Whale sharks, all sorts of great things there.
Yeah, that is a good one for sure. I got to figure out how to get as many likes as you do. I posted a photo of myself.
You need to dye your hair blonde.
So I had a photo. It's funny. I had a photo of me swimming with whale sharks in the Philippines, and I got like 12 likes, from a few ex-girlfriends and my mother, basically. Okay. And then like somebody else, a girl will take a photo of her like left foot, have like 3,000 likes. And I'm just like, I give up. I give up.
Those are foot people. They're a totally different breed. I wonder if you put your foot in your photo, if that would have mattered. I don't know.
I know. I just want to take here's my 12-inch foot here, and just hopefully this will excite you more than me swimming with whale sharks in the Philippines. Whatever it takes, just tell me what to take a photo of.
So, do you want to do a giveaway? Should we give away one of our $50 credits?
Sure.
All right. My sidekick Alex. It looks like Jim is the winner. Jim, I'm not sure what platform you're listening on, but we will figure that out afterwards. And I will message you, or my sidekick Alex will message you all the information about how to get your $50 credit. Congratulations, our first winner. So what are you going to do next week when we don't have a live show to do?
I'm going to sleep for once. That's what I'm going to do. I need more of it. Just work's been nice and busy. It's better to be too busy than too slow.
Absolutely.
And we're keeping ourselves busy with some good stuff. So Iceland, it keeps us busy year round, as do a lot of these other tours. But the speed that you're able to get back to people, your response time really makes a big difference in how much they trust you. So we have to respond to people quickly and just make sure all their questions are answered. After we've answered their questions, we leave them alone. They do whatever they have to and think about things, but we just want to make sure they don't have any questions. That's it.
So you know what we didn't talk about? Whale watching. That's one of the things that was really cool there, although it's really cold out on the boat. But we saw, what kind of whale was it? I think it was a very unique whale that you don't see in other areas. I can't remember what it was. So watch my Iceland video. Go to my YouTube channel.
I briefly mentioned the whale watching. We typically do that on the first day, regardless whether it's typically actually it's the summertime we do that. When we take you up north, we do the whale watching. In the winter season, it's not as popular because you're not going to see as many of the whales. So you could be out in the water freezing with seeing nothing. So what we typically do in the winter season is instead take them for horseback riding in a nice area. So it's a very unique thing to be actually doing in the wintertime, to go horseback riding. But yeah, horseback in the winter, summer, whale watching. And that's, again, the day that you arrive, day one in Iceland.
I remember that. Yeah, that's awesome. And you're very tired. You're not going to get there at 5 a.m. and be chipper. You'll be tired. So it's a nice, relaxing first day activity.
When I went there, I brought a group with me, and there was one girl younger than the rest of us, probably higher IQ than the rest of us, because she knew exactly where to stand the whole time without getting the drift and just freezing. So I don't know how she did it. She just knew the perfect spot the whole time, where to stand on the boat to enjoy the experience and not feel the breeze. The rest of us, and we were like tired as well, so we were tired and we're just freezing. But just make sure you learn exactly where to stand on that boat. If you find the right spot, you'll have a great time. But if you're like the rest of us who don't know what the heck we're doing, especially being from California, we're not used to that kind of weather. You're going to get a little bit cold. So make sure you find that spot on the boat and take it before somebody else does.
They actually gave us jumpsuits, big, huge jumpsuits to get into with hats, with hoods. And I can't remember if they were rubber or what they were made of, but because we were there for New Year's Eve, it was freezing. So they don't let you to go out on the deck without being completely covered.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great. Those were great little suits.
They helped, didn't they?
But I think staying inside was the key. Like go inside the boat until they say, oh, there's something to look at.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
All right. Well, we're just about to the end. Do you have any last minute tips
About Iceland?
or anything?
Airfare is relatively affordable. And more cities you can fly directly into Iceland from in the United States. So even like Denver, for example, they never had that. And then they added Denver. So there's a lot of direct flights into and out of Iceland. You're always going to be flying into and out of Reykjavik. That's going to be the one and only international airport there. That's one good thing. So once you're actually there, the food and things like that are more expensive, but at least to get there, it's a lot more affordable than going to many other destinations.
And something Iceland Air does, actually, I'm not sure that they're still doing it. They used to do it. They had a free stopover deal. So if you wanted to stop over on the way to Europe into Iceland, you could do that for no extra charge. So that was when they were really trying to build Reykjavik as a destination, because nobody knew what it was just a few years ago, and it really has boomed.
It's YouTube and Instagram, but especially the YouTube. They have put these places on the map for sure, because back in the day, remember, the governments would just go and promote their own countries. Nobody would take it seriously. It's like somebody's mother trying to say, hey, my son's a good catch, you should give him the time of day. Well, it's your mother. Of course you're going to say that, right? Nobody's going to. No, your mother's going to say, run away from my son. It doesn't work that way. So when you have these independent YouTubers who've never been, who have no attachment to the country, and they're just a tourist or traveler, they're just like you and I would be, and they go and vouch for it, and then they actually show footage of all these beautiful places, all of a sudden they have gained so much popularity because these YouTubers got millions of followers and they're vouching for these places. And now there's this Instagram worthy spot that everybody wants to take that photo at. And the one girl does it, and then the next girl follows her. Mm-hmm. And it's a domino effect that really helps out the country. But yeah, you're right. Years ago, if you said, I'm going to Iceland on my vacation, they would look at you like, what?
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
Huh? Why aren't you working on your bikini in Greece or something? You can't do that in Iceland, and then of course they see the footage and everything, like, oh my God, that offers a whole different thing. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Greenland becomes the next Iceland. Although the population is 10 times smaller in Greenland, and the country is 5 times bigger, 10 times bigger, whatever.
Yeah, it's more complicated too. You'd have a complicated time trying to do a tour there, because you're on 2 different areas where you can't just go between. You have to boat around. I don't know. I'd be very curious to see your Greenland itinerary. So please create one for me.
I bet you you talked about the I don't know, what was it, the DNA? You see if they have where is this, on the dating apps or on what?
Their dating app in Iceland. Yeah.
I can't imagine what the dating apps would look like in Greenland. There's only like 50,000 people there. So
Yeah, it's got to be the same.
I mean, there's 50,000. So at
Yeah.
some point you're going to be see your sister, or your aunt on that thing. Like, and it's like, God, you know.
Ah, first world problems, I guess.
Yeah, we don't have that problem, so we're good.
All right. Well, it's been a great talk here about Iceland today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks so much for watching.